Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling something that drives a lot of us crazy, the absolute headache of healthcare operations. We're going to dive into a system called the Eagle AI, and it's not just another app. The idea here is that it becomes the actual operational backbone for a clinic or hospital. All right, so let's just start with a question that I'm pretty sure we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why is dealing with healthcare admin so frustrating? That feeling when you're just trying to book an appointment or get a simple lab result and it feels like climbing a mountain? Well, that friction isn't just you. It's actually a symptom of a much, much bigger problem. And let's be real, these aren't just small inconveniences, are they? Being on hold forever, having to constantly chase down your own test results, or just getting no answer after hours? These are all red flags. They're signs that the whole administrative system is just stretched way, way too thin. So, to really get a handle on this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll talk about what's called digital paperwork. Then, we'll look at the administrative ceiling. After that, we'll explore this idea of AI as infrastructure, not just another app. We'll see the AI in action, touch on data and privacy, which is huge, and finally, wrap up with what this could mean for the future of patient care. All right, section one, drowning in digital paperwork. You'd think with all the tech we have, things would be more efficient. But here's the paradox. The problem isn't that there aren't enough digital tools. It's that they don't talk to each other, and that creates this massive hidden problem. And that brings us to this great term, digital paperwork. It's such a perfect description, right? It's all that manual, repetitive stuff that staff have to do just to connect the dots between different systems. Think about it. A nurse manually typing patient info from a text message into the main system, or someone spending hours just to make sure a simple spreadsheet matches the official schedule. They're literally acting as the human glue, holding a fragmented digital system together. So all that digital paperwork isn't just tedious. It actually creates a very real barrier, which leads us right into our next section, the administrative ceiling. And this is the really critical takeaway. The problem for a lot of clinics isn't a lack of patients who need care. It's not a lack of doctors or equipment. The real problem is that their growth hits a wall, a ceiling, because of manual processes. A clinic can literally only grow as fast as its front desk can make phone calls or type in data. The administration itself becomes the bottleneck, holding everything back. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where we get into a really different way of thinking about AI in healthcare. It's not about just sticking a chatbot on a website. This is a whole new category called self-provisioning AI operations, or SPAO for short. So what's the difference? Well, think about a normal chatbot. Its goal is conversation. You ask a question, it gives an answer. What are your hours? Bam, you get an answer. But this Eagle AI system, its goal is execution. It doesn't just talk, it does things. It takes action. It actually books the appointment in the real system. It runs the insurance check. It becomes the operational backbone. It's the difference between an information kiosk and the actual factory floor manager. Okay, that sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like? Let's walk through 3 real-world examples to see how this thing works in action. First up, let's talk about the front desk. This system is designed to create a 24/7 AI front desk, basically blowing away the old bottlenecks of office hours and busy phone lines. So picture this. It's 10 p.m., you're at home, and you need to book a scan. You just send a WhatsApp message. The AI instantly checks the real-time schedule, finds an open slot, runs a quick insurance pre-check, and boom, your appointment is confirmed, right then and there. And the best part? Every single step is logged, making the whole thing completely transparent and reliable. You've got a front desk that never sleeps. All right, workflow number 2 is all about smart triage and clinical intake. Now, to be super clear, this is not about the AI making a diagnosis, not at all. This is about making sure the human clinicians are perfectly prepared for your visit by gathering all the key information before you even arrive. So before your appointment, the system can send you a guided questionnaire. As you answer, it uses a set of medical guardrails, rules set by the clinic, to analyze your responses. If anything looks like a red flag, it gets automatically escalated to a real person right away. So the goal here is all about sorting and prioritizing, what they call risk stratification. The doctor gets a clean, structured summary, urgent cases get flagged, and everyone saves a ton of time. And for our third workflow, we're tackling something that I think we can all agree is just the worst: the waiting game for test results. It creates so much anxiety for patients and just clogs up the phone lines for the staff. So instead of you having to call them again and again, the system just watches the lab system. The second your report is approved and ready, it pings you with a notification. You quickly verify who you are, get a secure link, and you can see your results instantly. Just like that, you've cut out the patient's anxiety, you've freed up the staff from answering those calls, and the whole thing is secure and logged for compliance. It's a total game changer. And when you add all that up, the impact is, well, it's huge. You can see here the projected drop in all that administrative busy work. We're talking massive reductions in the time spent on manual booking, reminder calls, and chasing down results. And that is how you get your highly trained staff off the phones and back to doing what really matters: high-value work with patients.
Okay, this all sounds really efficient, maybe even a little too efficient. And since we're talking about healthcare, there's one massive question hanging over all of this. What about the data? Is it safe? Is it private?
This is where the architecture becomes incredibly important. The system is built using what's called a single-tenant model. Here's a simple way to think about it. Most cloud software is multi-tenant. It's like a big apartment building. Lots of different companies are tenants, but you all share the same foundation, the same plumbing, the same security guard. A single-tenant architecture, on the other hand, gives each clinic its very own private house, their own server, their own database, their own AI. Nothing is shared. Their data is completely isolated from everyone else's. And that brings us to this quote, which really hits the nail on the head. In private healthcare, trust is currency. That technical decision to build private, isolated systems isn't just a nerdy detail. It's the foundation of trust. It's about guaranteeing that a patient's data stays their data, and the clinic's data stays theirs. It's not just a feature, it's the whole point. All right, so let's zoom out and put all these pieces together. What does this actually mean for the future of patient care?
You know, the big idea here isn't about replacing humans. It's actually the opposite. It's about redeploying them. It's about freeing up skilled nurses and clinicians from doing what is basically data entry and phone tag. The vision is to shift from this clunky, fragmented patient experience to one that's intelligently orchestrated. Let the technology handle all the coordination so the humans can focus on the human part, delivering excellent care.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. There's this common fear, right? That more technology in healthcare will make it feel colder, more robotic, less human. But what if the opposite is actually true? What if by automating all of the administrative chaos, we could free up the people in the system to actually be more present, more focused, and more available to patients? What if this kind of technology could actually make healthcare feel more human again?